The solution work in progress 1. 1. It should be a felony to leave a dog unrestrained. When unrestrained, dogs pose a serious threat to every person and animal around them. Billions of dollars in insurance payouts every year, and over $1 billion in homeowners insurance payouts in 2022 alone, prove that dogs are aggressive, monstrous animals. Almost every single video I have seen of a dog mauling someone involved an unrestrained dog running up and mauling someone minding their own business, sometimes looking happy while wagging their tails or just trotting right up and ripping into someone like it was no big deal. Dogs are naturally aggressive animals, and in fact are the only type of animal that has ever aggressed against me. Just look at all the dog park dog fight videos on YouTube. They regularly maul pedestrians/cyclists and delivery people. I have seen video after video of this, and almost every video I have seen of a dog mauling someone involved an unrestrained dog. 2. It should be a minimum 5-year prison sentence for the owner of any dog that bites someone it shouldn't. The maximum sentence for the owner of any such dog that bites someone it shouldn't should be life in prison. People face severe risks from being bitten by a dog, such as disability, nerve damage, infection, broken bones, even death, and likely more from a dog bite, so the sentence the owner gets should be commensurate with the risk others are put in by being bitten by a dog. Every time I ride my bike, and keep in mind that I am car-free, I have to worry about dogs biting me or going to prison because I dared to defend myself based on reality, instead of the lies the dog owner drums up to cover their own irresponsibility. If that owner had to worry about going to prison for 5 years as soon as even a single tooth from that dog broke my skin, he wouldn't have the gall to lie and say things like, "It's just running at you," or "It's just a sweet wholesome family dog. It'd never run into the road at you as long as you just keep riding," or use pepper spray. Pepper spray/gel is not reliable, especially on fighting type dogs. I have to worry about getting infected, having permanent disability or even death, permanent nerve damage, constant pain, etc. from dogs that I am not allowed to defend myself against based on reality, but instead I must base my actions on the lies of the owner, the prosecutor, and the lies that the jury will use to justify its own irresponsibility with its own dogs. So if I have to base my actions on other people's lies, then they should pay a severe penalty when I get hurt because I based my actions on their lies. This way they become less prone to lying. 3. The owner should have to pay 4 times the total cost of injury, intimidation, lost wages, lost property, destroyed relationships, divorce after lost job due to dog bite for example, or any other trouble that their dog causes, and this payout should be non-taxable. When I say intimidation or any other trouble, I am talking about people who, for example, are afraid to walk or cycle to work and other places, and who quit their jobs as delivery drivers because of all the dogs they have to deal with. Irresponsible owners cause others massive amounts of trouble, and they should pay for the trouble they cause. It's disgusting that people have to be responsible for someone else's dogs. The dogs should entirely be the responsibility of the owner, and this law would help make that so. 4. In the case of any dog that is unrestrained, or has no capable obstruction between it and someone that does not want it near them, it should be legal for that person to deal with that dog any way they think they need to ensure their own safety, especially in the cases of delivery people and pedestrians/cyclists. And any such dog should be considered legally harmable and terminable by any method that can provide an effective and reliable defense against that dog. Remember that lethal methods of defense are for situations that can cause grievous harm or death, and non-lethal methods of defense are for situations that cannot cause grievous harm or death. This is due to the fact that many dogs will attack with no warning at all or subdued warning, such as a low, barely audible growl, and due to the fact that some dogs even look friendly while attacking. I have many videos of this on my channel. And due to the fact the owners will lie and say, "It's just running at you," even when the dog is clearly charging at the person to attack them. And due to the fact that owners will lie any lie they can get away with to justify being irresponsible with their dog, including lying and saying that it's just a sweet wholesome family dog that don't hurt nothing never ever, when they know very well that they are lying. And what I mean by capable obstruction is that the obstruction must be capable. For example, putting a Rottweiler behind a baby gate does not capably obstruct it from mauling the mailman, so a baby gate is not considered a capable obstruction. And the owner of the dog must bear any and all responsibility for anything that goes wrong during this legalized harming or terminating of the dog. This is because the owner should bear full responsibility for all the trouble their dog causes, especially since dogs do attack with little or no warning. This is simply part of the burden of owning dangerous animals, which dogs clearly are, as proven by the hundreds of thousands of emergency room visits we have every year due to dogs biting people, and it is also due to a bit of an issue where if you don't shoot or otherwise harm the dog, something even worse could happen. Keep in mind that you cannot account for everything that can occur during a defensive event, especially as there are, many times, only seconds or less to decide on what to do, and doing nothing could allow things to get even worse very rapidly. The best solution tends to be the quickest and most reliably effective solution, as the longer a situation goes on, the more that can happen. One example is that you didn't shoot the dog and it goes on to maul you or someone else. Another example is, you're riding your bicycle, a dog runs across 4 lanes of traffic to maul you. You kick it in the head repeatedly and it does nothing to stop the dog. So you get off the bike and shoot it because there is nothing else you can do, especially due to the wind making pepper gel/spray useless, and due to the fact that the dog is of a breed known for its viciousness and resistance to pain due to its blood sport heritage. And keep in mind that you don't always know exactly what kind of dog you are dealing with because everything happens so fast that it just appears as a fuzzy, hate-filled blob of teeth. And later on you are thankful you shot it because it was being walked by a child that easily could have ran out into traffic after the dog and ended up crushed, or you could have ended up crushed while dealing with the dog, or there could have been a massive traffic incident because of this dog running about in the road. Basically, what I am pointing out is that there are so many variables in a defensive situation that you cannot account for them all. And if you hesitate to shoot or do whatever you need to do, something even worse could happen. In this example, a person is just riding down the road, minding their own business. And all of a sudden they have this massive problem that could go lethal or cause severe harm very easily, and they have to decide what to do in a matter of seconds. What they choose may go well or go poorly. They don't know for certain how it will go. And all because some irresponsible owner wouldn't just control their dog. The person dealing with this dog shouldn't have to worry about going to prison because something went wrong in a situation that was dumped off on them against their will. The owner of the dog is the only one who should have to worry about this, as the dog and all that it does, and the results of all that it does, especially when not properly restrained, should be the full responsibility of the owner, and not the people that have to put up with the dog and the irresponsibility of the owner. Dog owners should bear full responsibility for their dog and all it does, and the results of all that it does. A dog is not community property. 5. The defendant, who defended themselves against a dog, must be allowed to say and present anything he wishes to bolster his viewpoint and explain why he took the actions he did. This is especially an issue in cases where you cannot base your actions on past experience. You should be able to use your past experience and other people's experience in dealing with dogs, or any other business for that matter. Otherwise, the case against the defendant is entirely based on the lies of the owner, the prosecutor, and the lies that the jury will use to justify its own irresponsibility with its own dogs. If they can create their own narrative, then the defendant should be allowed to create his own narrative as well, using anything he wishes to back his viewpoint.